the Opupco Studios in Oklahoma City, you're watching the Press Row. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Barry Trammell. We're brought to you by Papa John's Pizza. You can go online right now and order your pizza at papajohns.com. Okay, Barry, I don't know about you, but my bracket is in shambles. But let's go ahead and pick some regional winners this week. How does that sound?
Sounds good. Actually, all my Final Four still alive, so my bracket's busted, but my favorites are still kicking.
I got 3 of 4. Let's talk about those, Barry. What about the South regional winner? Who you got coming through the South?
Well, I got Florida. I thought Florida's the best team in America going into this tournament. The Gators lost only twice. Not since December 2nd have they lost. Their 2 losses this year were on the road to good teams, UConn and Wisconsin, teams that are still alive. Florida has it all. They've got senior leadership. They got a proven coach. Florida's going to be very tough to beat. Yeah, I've got Florida coming through the South as well, and I actually picked them to start, so there's one of my 3 to come through. But I tell you what, I wouldn't be sad to see Dayton come through there, Barry. It's a game, they'll be playing against Stanford. Those are 2 double-digit seeds, 10 and 11, so we're sure to have a double-digit Elite 8 team. Dayton playing really well, not only won that big in-state rivalry game against Ohio State in the first round, but then kept winning. So if the Flyers get there, I'm not going to be sad. But first Sweet 16 for Dayton in 30 years since they beat the Sooners in '84.
Wow, that'd be fun. All right, Barry, what about the East? Who comes out of that East regional? Well,
I have Michigan State. Virginia's the #1 seed, very solid team, great coach. But Michigan State's got it all.
You always have Michigan State.
I always take Michigan State.
They could be playing in the NBA playoffs, and I think
Michigan State's always a good pick. Izzo's got a great team. When he's been healthy this year, his team's been elite, and they're healthy. So I think it's going to be a very tough out for anybody to knock Michigan State out of the East.
Virginia and Michigan State playing in the regional semifinal. That's going to have a Final Four type of feel. I'm taking Virginia to come out of the East. I picked them originally. I've still got them kicking, so I'm going to stick with the Virginia squad. But I tell you what, that is going to be a heck of a game. And then, you know, you look at who these teams got to come in and play. They got Iowa State, Connecticut winner. Connecticut being hot with Kevin Ollie, the former Thunder coach out there. Iowa State can obviously fill it up. That's going to be a fun. I think Iowa State wins to play for a chance to go to the Final Four, but those other 2 teams really, really tough. I'll stick with Virginia. Barry's got the Michigan State, folks. All right, what about the West, Barry? Who comes out of the West regional?
Well, I think it's going to be Arizona. Arizona, I think, is the 2nd best team in America behind Florida. Arizona, tough. A lot of talent, big, good coach. You know, we were disappointed that OSU didn't advance, but the truth is they weren't getting past Arizona. So I think Arizona is probably as big of a favorite as anybody in the 4 regionals.
Yeah, I'm going Arizona coming out of the West as well, and really was impressed to see them up close and personal. Got a chance to see them in the first round or second round or whatever round they call that. Thursday, Friday games again, but very athletic, lots of talent spread all over the floor. Their big guys are good, rangy, can really move around. So I think they're going to give a lot of teams trouble, and they seem to be sort of catching their stride too. Beat Gonzaga soundly in that second round game. So I think Arizona is going to be a tough out for anybody. I see them making it all the way. All right, lastly, Barry, Midwest Regional, the only regional without its #1 seed. Wichita State obviously getting bounced. We thought this would be the toughest regional. Who survives it?
Well, I think it's going to be Louisville, but it's really a little bit of a wide open type regional. Louisville, Kentucky, a holy war at Indianapolis. I'm glad they're playing in the Dome. They're going to need the tickets for the UK fans and the Louisville fans. It's pretty easy for both schools to get to Indy. So I think Louisville's going to get there, but I tell you, Kentucky grew up a lot last week. They played a fabulous game to knock out Wichita State, so that's going to be one to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I think Kentucky's a much tougher out than they were when this tournament started. They talk about hitting strides. They hit a stride to be able to knock off Wichita State. But I'm going Louisville out of the Midwest as well. I thought Wichita State would survive it, but obviously didn't quite make it. But interesting matchup will be to see if Michigan can maybe make a push. You know, you got State getting through. Maybe it can be 2 Michigan schools getting to the Final Four. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Wolverines get there, but I do think Louisville with their experience from last year winning the championship, I think they survived. But man, this is a tough regional. We thought it would be, and it's definitely living up to it. All right, lastly, Barry, let's talk a little women's hoops. Who's your can't-miss Final Four team coming out of the women's tournament?
I actually think there's 3. It's hard to find an upset, but clearly UConn. I actually chatted with with a women's basketball coach this week and said, oh, boy, tough assignment for Oklahoma State, having to go to Notre Dame, which is unbeaten. And this coach said, you know what, that's tough, but at least it's not UConn. At least you're not going to Connecticut. So virtually unbeatable is Connecticut, not just in this regional, but in the Final Four.
Yeah, I'll go UConn as well. And, you know, Notre Dame is just a hair behind because they're playing at home. They got the great benefit of having a regional final round at their home site, got there, and now they've got a chance to use that to get to the Final Four. But UConn just looks like as dominant a UConn team as we've seen in a while. And frankly, I hadn't been paying much attention to them, knew they were undefeated, but got a chance to see a little bit of some of them play in the first couple rounds of the women's tournament. You know, really good, really, really good. It's going to be interesting to see if those two undefeated teams who used to be Big East rivals in Notre Dame and UConn can get to that final and play each other. It'd be a heck of a matchup. Hey, be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoma.